Hi there, Massy here, coach, strategist and author of a few books, and welcome to today's session of the Life Masterclass podcast, coming to you all the way from beautiful Bali. And as I look out over my balcony, it's a gorgeous blue day, lots of greenery out there as well. So thank you for joining me, where I'm going to give you some practical tips, tools and strategies to increase your level of happiness, health, vitality, vibrancy, consciousness, success, and the plethora of anything else that goes into that mix. So thank you very much for joining me today. Now, I'm wearing bright colours. Like if you've ever seen me in the past, I either wear black or white, and I've been doing that for a significant period of time. So I decided to venture into one of the malls in Bali here and get myself some different colours. So you're going to see some different colours over the next series of podcasts and well into the future. Thought I'd brighten things up a little bit. Now, the topic for today is, I called it love, fear, beauty, and a bit of Dumb-Arse or stupidity, sort of that sort of collection of things. So I might sort of meander my way a little bit through this. So a lot of times I'll be very clear about what I want to talk about and come into this Life Masterclass podcast and be, this is what we're going to talk about, and bang, bang, bang on that. But as I was out and about today, and I was riding my bicycle through the rice fields of Bali, beautiful, gorgeous ride, and trying to come to grips with what topic I'd principally talk about today. And a topic came to mind because I was having this experience of, as I rode my bike, having different experiences with different people that I saw and I crossed paths with along the way. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit of the topic about this mask thing. And for those that don't know my background, I spent 14 years in the Australian Army. I retired as a major, and one of the specialty courses I did while I was in the military was defense against nuclear, biological and chemical weapons. So how do we defend ourselves against us? So part of me doing that training course was actually going inside a gas chamber where they would release a gas called CS gas, and we'd have to put our masks on it and go through that process. And if your mask, purpose-built military-grade mask, if they didn't have a tight rubber seal on them, then you'd be sucking in this CS gas, it'd be burning your throat, your nose would be running, eyes would be burning. A very uncomfortable experience, but certainly teaching you how to have this good seal. So that's the background I come from when it's looking at the efficacy, the efficiency, the effectiveness of these cloth masks, which a lot of us are being asked to wear wherever we are in different countries. So I sort of lean to the side of these are pretty ineffective as far as stopping anything, and they may stop some large particles passing person to person, but viruses have been moving around this planet for about 3 billion years, so they don't just pass person to person, they're passing around in the air. So, and again, my background is I've been fascinated by health for the last 30 years. So I look at what are the consequences of this experience. So, if I put this mask there, there's a resistance. So to breathe in, if I'm using the same amount of pressure with my breathing and I have a resistance, I'm going to get less oxygen. That's just physics. And then the second part of it is if I circulate this carbon dioxide and I'm getting more of that carbon dioxide in my system, that's not necessarily healthy for me over the long term. So my thing is, we only wear a mask if there's a specific need for a specific situation in a specific environment. And certainly if we're healthy, there's no point in wearing this. If we've got a cough, a cold, if we've got some symptoms going on, this might make some sense. So I'm sort of going to, steer away from that conversation. I just wanted to let you know which direction I lean as far as which doctors and scientists. I lean in the direction with the people that are saying this doesn't make much sense. We just need to let this thing come and pass through, protect the people that are at risk, and everyone else go about their business. That's my line of thinking. But I wanted to take this in a different direction and look at the relationship between fear, beauty, and love. And the path I'm going to take sort of follows the path of me riding my bicycle through Bali. And as I sort of connect and see people as I go along, and there's people onto the side of the road doing their things, there's people going past on motorbikes, a couple of people on bicycles, and I have a different experience of connection with those people that I truly get to see. And there's a reason that we sort of have some sort of aversion to seeing someone in a mask. For instance, someone comes into a bank with a mask on. We've been programmed for forever that they're a threat. And by having the mask on there, we can't see all of the microfacial features that are going on there. So it's very hard for us to discern what is actually going on in that person's mind. And because we're created as social beings and we've evolved as social beings over thousands and thousands of years, it's really important for us to understand what's happening with that other person for us to feel safe. So if we can only see part of that person, their eyes, and now people are stupidly talking about wearing masks and visors and all that sort of stuff, so we see even less. If we see less of it, there's a primal, primitive part of our mid to lower brain, maybe more the reptilian part of the brain, that is feeling a level of discomfort in a relationship with this person or a connection with this person where you don't fully know what they're thinking, feeling, because you can't see the full picture. So there's a part of you that's a little bit on edge. So maybe at the autonomic nervous system, the nervous system is a little bit edgy because we can't fully discern whether there's a threat in front of us or whether there's safety in front of us. And as I ride my bike through this journey through Bali, and I see people that don't have a mask, and I see these beautiful smiles. It's said that love is the absence of fear. And from a biological, biochemistry, there's a very different expression of hormones, neuropeptides, neurotransmitters that is happening as a result of someone feeling an elevated emotional state of love versus a lower emotional state of survival, emotional state of fear. So there's different chemistry happening inside of our bodies. So when I see that person smiles at me, I'm not only getting the experience of seeing that as a non-threat in front of me, I'm also feeling the expression, or I'm seeing beauty in that person and that beauty in that person's smile. And by seeing that beauty, I have the experience of love. I feel love by the experience of seeing beauty. And this was something that I'd heard not so long ago by Dr. Zack Bush, who was talking about it's not love that makes the world go round, it's beauty. And it's our seeing of beauty that causes us to have this experience of love. So it was an interesting perspective of the relationship between beauty and love, where the beauty comes first and we feel this expression of love. And again, love is the absence of fear. And when we go into this place and space of feeling love course through our body, this fear is at a different place. And what that means from a brain perspective as well is when we're in fear, we don't have access to the higher parts of our brain. We're being triggered. The amygdala is getting fight off, stress response. We're staying around our midbrain, mammalian brain, limbic brain, in this survival place. And when we're in survival, we don't think long-term consequences. We're only about what's in front of us. So we can't make good decisions because we can't see the full perspective in that particular place and space. So for me, when I actually get to see people and I get to see that smile, and that puts me in this elevated emotional state, which I might call love and joy and connection, I'm firing off, maybe there's some oxytocin, maybe there's some dopamine, serotonin, like these, hormones and neuropeptides are being released within my brain, which is causing me to have this emotional experience, which is at the cellular level doing certain things, upregulating certain genes and whatnot. So all of this stuff, this feeling of love, which creates this different experience within my body, which suppresses this experience of fear, which allows me to have access to a higher level of mind and a higher level of consciousness and a broader perspective and a greater sense to use my imagination to imagine the consequences of the choices I'm making in the moment. All of that stuff. And all of it, I bring it back full circle around to this idea of like, if I can see beauty, if I can open myself up to it, if I can see that person in front of me and I feel comfortable knowing what's going on most probably in that person's mind by seeing all of what they're offering in their facial features. Facial features that I may notice at a conscious level, but also a subconscious level as a result of experience over thousands of years embedded into my DNA and part of my subconscious programming. I can pick up what's going on with that person. So my point, I guess, in my sort of meandering way, this fear, this love, this beauty, like a little bit of stupidity, is about maintaining our connection with each other. And it's that maintaining connection with each other, that connection and that seeing an expression of beauty, which causes this feeling of love, which suppresses this experience of fear, that allows us to navigate our way more gracefully, easefully, and joyfully through life now and forevermore. You know, whether it's this experience we're having in 2020 or whether it's life in general. The more you can see life through this lens of beauty and love, the more you'll have the open-mindedness, the broader perspective to make better choices in life. And the better choices we make in life, the more we are a co-creator in the destiny that we manifest within our own life and life experience. So there you go, like let whatever comes up for you with that experience. If you have any questions about that or it brings anything to mind, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know your thoughts on it. As always, I like to keep this as practical as possible when I'm talking in these life masterclasses. So my practical thing is do your best to connect deeply with as many people as possible and be conscious about the need to wear this mask and only choosing to, wear it when you absolutely must. Maybe it's forced on you at some point, but maybe you even navigate your way around the application of someone's imposition on you, and that's certainly up for you to make your choice about how you move through this experience. So if you want to know anything more from me, if you want to do any more work with me, if you want to go deeper and work one-on-one as I help you navigate your way through this thing called life, maybe navigate your way through particular transition points, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I've already opened up the program. I have a program called Consolidation to Breakthrough, and I'm in sort of the middle of it with a group, a 6-month program that goes through 2020, but I'm opening up the opportunity for people to join me for that in 2021. And it's a group of 8 people, so it's a very limited program. So if you're interested in that, check out the details. I'll have in the show notes below more information for you to find out about that. That's all I have to say. I hope that wherever you are on this beautiful, gorgeous, incredible planet of ours, you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and take care.